Welcome to the Modern Real Estate Investor Podcast, where we interview the biggest and most successful real estate entrepreneurs, investors, and capital raisers in the world to provide you with the tool sets, the mindsets, and the skill sets to help you conquer yourself, your life, your marriage, and use real estate as your wealth creation vehicle so that you can live a more successful, happy, and fulfilled life of growth and contribution. If what you're after is having it all, if what you desire is becoming the best version you can be across all areas, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, sentimentally, and financially, you've come to the right place. We will bring to you the best of the best real estate entrepreneurs who will give you the insights, knowledge, experience, and skills so that you can go out and crush it financially and across all areas of your life. Grab pencil and paper, sit back, enjoy, and you are welcome to the Modern Real Estate Investor Podcast. Hello, Modern Kings and Queens. Welcome to another episode of the Modern Real Estate Investor Podcast, where we interview the biggest, most successful, and real estate investors out there to provide you with the tool sets, the mindsets, and the skill sets so that you can conquer yourself, your life, your marriage, and use real estate as your wealth creation vehicle so that you can have a more successful, happy, and fulfilled life of growth and contribution. So I have a very interesting guest with me today. But before I introduce her to you, though, I just want to ask all of you for a favor. I want to ask you that if you get something out of this interview, if you get some type of value, an insight, a skill, if you get a mindset shift, if you get new information or some motivation or even some inspiration to go out and take some action and keep on moving forward towards your goals, I want to ask you to please share this episode. Share with some of your friends. Share with someone who you think this might impact, someone who might be interested in real estate, someone who you think might be interested in investing in real estate, and just help us share this message. Help us help other people. And to all of you who do that, who share, thank you. All right. And today I have Ellie Baxter. She's the co-founder of Lucid Capital, and she has been in customer service and sales management for over 15 years. So she's been, in the people business for over almost 2 decades. And her values includes integrity, accountability, determination, and creativity. Finding multifamily commercial real estate deals has been her biggest aspirations for the past couple of years, and she enjoys helping others invest passively, right? So super excited to talk about that, Ellie. Thank you very much for being here, and I appreciate your time, and you are welcome to the show, Ellie.
Thank you so much. That was a great introduction.
Thanks. So, Ellie, the first thing that I ask my guests to do is I ask them to walk us through their real estate investing journey in 75 seconds or less.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have been in the commercial real estate industry for about 10 months now. I started last year in June of 2022. Long story short, my best friend and I decided that we were done with working 9 to 5. We wanted to get out of that and work, find a way to make passive income and financial freedom. We are not corporate girls like 9 to 5, right? So we ended up starting to do wholesaling, single family homes. And then we actually got an ad on our Instagram for a multifamily commercial real estate network event. And I was like, we can't do that. We can't purchase apartment complexes. That sounds absolutely insane. But she was like, no, we're going. So we went, fell in love, and it's called the Multifamily Mindset with Tyler Devereaux. And we signed up for the 3-day, absolutely amazing network. And it literally opened our lives to a brand new world. Like it was absolutely incredible. Since then, we have just worked every single day to gain knowledge and power. And we ended up actually getting onto a deal, GPs, general partners, for 382 units in Jacksonville, Florida. So it's a portfolio. And we raised a lot of capital for it. And now we're learning from them and then continuing to purchase our own deals. So there you go.
Cool. Congratulations, Ellie. That's really exciting.
Thank you.
Right. So what you said, right? You were doing wholesaling and you were like, you got the ad and you were like, we can't do that, right? Like that's too big for me, right? For some reason. Right. And that's the thought process that almost every single real estate investor has, right? Like they start small, they start like either flipping houses or investing into single family homes or doing, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually, right, the gap between them doing that and them then realizing that, damn, like I can do that in a way bigger scale, with more leverage, with other people's money, with other people's skills, right? Like the gap between them realizing that, them doing that, like playing small, and then realizing that they can go big, and then that they can actually do it, it's sometimes years, right? And for you, it was a couple of months. So before talking a little bit more about that, let's talk about like your transition, right? So like, did you one day just decide to quit your job and go into, and you were like, I'm gonna go into real estate, and I'm tired of this, and how did that work?
Long story short, I in my 20s, I realized that I really wanted to make passive income, and I started doing Amazon FBA and like Shopify and stuff like that. And then I ended up getting married, and so my 20s really were focused on the marriage, and I was a stepmom. And then just recently, right before I did the multifamily mindset, he and I actually ended up getting a divorce. And so it kind of was just like a wake up call. And I also turned 30. So I was like, you know what? It's time to focus on what I really want to do. And that is passive income. I've always had that mindset that I've always wanted to create passive income for myself and generational wealth. I think I really like, just taking care of my family. That is my why. Right. And so during that transitional time of me kind of figuring out what I really wanted to do, that's when my best friend and I stumbled upon the commercial real estate. So that was how we transitioned.
So you went into the multifamily mindset. Are you part of the mastermind?
I am
coaching. Yeah.
with Tyler Devereaux. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then, so you invested in yourself, right? And that's not an easy thing to do. So how did that look like? Like, were you scared? Were you like, yeah, even if I do join, like I'm not gonna be able to do that? Or like, how was that?
Oh yeah. So we went to the 3-day, and he of course gave us the price. Okay. And I was just going through a divorce and was not super rich.
Yeah.
And it was very scary. And we talked to a few people that, were part of the team, and basically talked about what they sacrificed and to be where they are now, and just to see their accomplishments. And I just, she and I really just took a good look at ourselves, and we discussed it with, like for a few hours, honestly. It was a long conversation. And we just realized, you know what, it's now or never. Like, why would we just invest in ourselves and just like change our lives? And so we did. Said yes, and since then we have not looked back, and we've worked extremely hard every single day.
Cool. Yeah, that's super awesome. So, yeah, it's inspiring, right? Because imagine like how many women are out there, right? Who not only like haven't gone through like half of what you've been through, like a divorce and all of that, right? And like think they can't do it, right? So like imagine like, because like this podcast, it's not that big right now, right? It just got started, and but it will be big, right? Just like I will be, and everything that I touch will be big, right? And this podcast will be big. So imagine. Hello, modern kings and queens. I'm sorry for the interruption. I know you're enjoying the episode, but I have something super important that you must listen to. If you've been following this podcast for a while now, it's because of one of two reasons. Number one, you aspire to have it all, to unlock your potential across all areas of your life and achieve true freedom, physically, emotionally, spiritually, sentimentally, and of course, financially. And or number two, you're a real estate investor or an aspiring real estate investor who has chosen to use real estate as your wealth creation vehicle to achieve financial freedom. My mission as part of the Modern Kings and Queens movement is to help as many people as I can achieve financial freedom using the vehicle of real estate. And I believe that networking can be an incredibly powerful tool to help you unlock your potential across all areas, but more importantly, financially, and more specifically in real estate. I believe that in real estate, your net worth is your network. This is why I created the 4-step capital raising networking system to help real estate investors propel their growth by using a reliable system that will consistently help them connect with their ideal investors, build trust, add value, get their investors to promote them and put them in front of more investors, and raise more capital faster and in a much more effortless way so that they can become successful, not only financially, but across all areas of their life. If this is something that you want, and this is something that you're interested in, click the link below to gain access to a training that will explain the 4 steps to building a high leverage network that you can use to raise millions of dollars in capital, propel your growth in real estate, and achieve financial freedom in a much more effortless way so that you can have more time and energy to pour into every single other area of your life so that you can become successful, not only financially, but across all areas of your life. In this training, you will learn 4 things. Number 1, aligned connections. I'll show you how to network effectively and how to make sure that your networking efforts work by leveraging a secret, little known concept called the cloak track. Number 2, networking tool. I'm gonna reveal to you a secret networking tool that the top 5% of successful real estate investors use to become successful. And I'm gonna show you how you can use it too to become successful and get out of that 95% of real estate investors that don't really make it. 3, high status communication. In order for someone to invest in you, they have to feel like they know you, like you, and trust you. A lot of people can communicate, but very few can connect. High status communication will allow you to build trust and add value in a way that will make people feel like they know you, like you, and trust you for years in a time span of 30 minutes. And lastly, the 4th thing is the attention multiplication machine. The world doesn't run on oil anymore. It runs on attention. And this last thing, the attention multiplication machine, will show you how to get wealthy investors to promote you and put you in front of more wealthy investors so that you can raise more capital faster and in a much more effortless way. So if this is something that interests you, click the link below to go watch the training. Make sure you stay all the way to the end. If you find value and you want to book a call to talk about how you can get this completely offhand system, completely done for you system, implemented for you in the next 5 days. So click the link below. I'll see you on the other side. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of your episode. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thousands of people will watch it. And imagine how awesome it's going to be when like people hear your story. Right? So tell me more. Like go wherever you want to go.
So I will say, like, I think this community, and I literally tell people this all the time, like, since we have been able to accomplish what we have just in the last 8 months, we have new students reaching out to us all the time. And so it's kind of put me into like this mentor, almost like helping people get in there and telling them like, hey, I was in your shoes. Like, I literally am still new, still learning, right? Still figuring out how to do this, but I would not say, right. Without taking a step into investing in myself. And I absolutely find it fantastic to see these students come in and then see them thrive, right? So it's just been something that I didn't even think that I was into the mentoring students and helping out. But I know that like that is something that I would like to do for the rest of my life, and is helping other people succeed. Like that is just like my dream, and I absolutely love it.
Awesome. So I know that your specialty, right? And then you like anyone listening, you could probably feel it. She's like a people person. And your specialty is like investor relations, right? So talk to me about that. Like talk to me about how you make relationships and make sure that you build trust and add value to this investor relations.
Yeah. So I, just like you were saying in my intro, I come from sales, right? So sales has always been what I've done like for the last 15 years. And so I've learned from those 15 years of how important it is to build the relationships, and that it's not about the sales, it's about how you come across, right? And how you're adding value to another person. So I think that my number one goal when I'm doing my investor relations and going to network events is not how can I raise capital, but it's how can I add value to their life. And I think that with karma and like with it kind of doing a full circle 360, it's going to come back to me, right? And so I've seen a lot of that where I go in and I add value to someone's life. A couple months later, they remember me because of the value that I've added, and they call me and they're like, hey, like we just sold our house. Like, what can we do with this money, right? They remember me, and I think it's just absolutely amazing to. I'm a huge people person, right? I absolutely love people. I love humans. I think that our minds are absolutely beautiful. And so to go out there and meet people and listen to their stories and their journeys and seeing what I can do to, brighten up their journey or figure out what I can do to help. I think that is my favorite thing in the world. So investor relations is more powerful than people realize, because yes, you're raising money for capital, but you're also gaining these amazing relationships that you'll have forever. So it's awesome.
And then you're like changing their lives, right? Because you're going to be, providing money. You're going to be making their money make more money, and you're helping people like create wealth.
Exactly.
Which is super awesome, right? And then and then you get to call that work.
Yeah, right. Much better than 5.
Much better than what you said?
No, much better than a 9 to 5 job, right?
For sure, yeah. So Ellie, so with Lucid Capital, right? You're investing right now in commercial real estate properties like apartment complexes, and right now, do you have any deal currently right now that you're working on?
So there is a deal that we're trying to raise capital for in Jacksonville, Florida. And so it's a separate deal from the one that we just finished raising capital for. And there's a couple of deals that we're looking at in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But those are two huge, projects that we're working on right now.
All right. To raise capital, like who are you trying to give this opportunity of getting into this deal to? Like, who would be your ideal investor?
Yeah, so each one of us on the team that are capital raising, we all have our niche, or as some people would say, their vehicle, right? On how they would find and raise capital. For me, it's definitely the tech world. I come from also with sales. I know a lot of people. I live in Seattle, Washington, and it is tech central here, right? But recently, we got the opportunity to go to Las Vegas and to an e-commerce event. And I think that e-commerce is now my new vehicle, and it's absolutely amazing to raise capital in that industry. And the reason why,
nice.
Basically people that sell things on Amazon. That's what e-commerce is, for anyone that doesn't know. And so the people that I met at this convention literally blew my mind. And it is now the amount of connections that we have made by raising capital here. It's amazing because they have that mindset already. So like half of
investing.
Exactly, right? They're already investing in themselves in e-commerce, and a lot of times they sell their e-commerce business after a couple of years, and what do they do with that money, right? So we help diversify their assets. And so now that is my vehicle, is e-commerce.
That is great, right? And like this, having your vehicle, right? I call it your ideal investor, is so crucial, right? Because like I can see how you can resonate with those types of people because of your background, right? Like doing e-commerce, Amazon, and all of that, Shopify, and you can tell your story of how, like none of those vehicles, maybe they worked or they didn't, it doesn't matter, but how you found a new one, right? To be able to put the money that you made or didn't make, right, in that, right?
Exactly.
So I can see how you could resonate with those types of people, and it's awesome. And then, so having a niche, right? Like that's something really important that you mentioned that a lot of real estate investors don't have. Like they're just trying to help everyone, right? Mm-hmm. Which makes it really hard because every other real estate investor out there is also trying to offer returns to their investors, right? But what else? What are the value that you bring to the table? And the way that you just explained it is really awesome. Another thing that is really cool is that you're already building a team. So you've already realized that this sport, this game, the real estate investing game, is a team sport, right? So you mentioned that, like every person on the team has their niche. So walk me through how your team looks like.
Yeah, so I do investor relations and deal sourcing and asset management. And then I have Alicia Coleman, and she is the boots on the ground, broker relations and investor relations. And then I have Dan Sekany, and he actually owns his own multifamily here in Washington. So he's definitely asset management and our underwriter and acquisitions. And then we just actually have our someone new that just joined, and that's Sebastian, and he's actually e-commerce, and that's how we got this opportunity. And
nice.
He's our market research and investor relations as well. So all of us do capital raising, but we also have our specific roles as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when it comes to like raising capital, everyone is involved for sure. But then you have your own skill sets. So Ellie, so you've been, you haven't been long in this game, just like I haven't been long either. So what does the future hold for you? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I think that's going to be inspiring and cool.
Yeah. So our goal for the team is to hit between 4 to 5,000 units in the next 5 years. That is our biggest goal. And but for me personally, I definitely want that as well. But I also want to create a fund. I would like to also like maybe potentially create my own business on the side, for specific capital raising. I would like to travel the world. Like I don't travel at all, and I want to do that. And I want to pay off like student debt for my mom, and like there's just so many things I want to do. But the biggest thing is the freedom of time, and that is something that I tell anyone and everyone is that is more important to me than anything else in the world, because we don't have a lot of it, and it's so important to gain that. And so just the freedom of time to do whatever needs to happen that I want and what my family wants and friends, and actually enjoy the time that we have on this world.
Nice. Awesome. So yeah, that's awesome. So 4,000 units in the next 5 years, that's totally doable. But it sounds crazy, right? Doesn't it sound crazy to you right now?
Oh yeah.
But it's totally doable, right?
Yeah, totally. I think we can do it.
And then it's so cool to think that anyone out there who like is just getting started, or maybe was where you were a couple of months ago, like just having this realization of, oh, like I don't need to be flipping houses. I could be flipping properties, but they could be like 100 unit properties, right? And it's really cool. It's really awesome, and it's really an awesome journey. So I definitely think that you're gonna make it, right?
Thanks.
So every podcast, right, we end with a couple of questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you the first one, okay?
Okay.
The first question is, if you could go back in time, right, to where you just got started in real estate, or you know what, maybe to when, like before you, because I think you said you started when you were 20, and then you got started, but then left it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So wherever you want, whether that's like a couple of months ago, a year ago, or like all the way back to when you started but you left it, if you could give yourself some advice to help yourself have bigger success faster in a lot more smoother way, yeah, what do you tell yourself?
So many things. I think the biggest thing for me that I would say is more confidence, right? And myself and
believing in yourself.
Exactly. Like just go for it. Like there's no better time than right now. And I think that I really held myself back from what like my full potential is that I've been creating right now, because I was too scared, and I did think that I could do it. I think I maybe could have failed, and I chose stupid reasons not to do it. So I think that if I could give myself advice or anyone else from when starting out, don't be afraid, believe in yourself, and know that you can do it.
And that's ultimately what's holding everyone back, right? Like not believing that they can do it. Mm-hmm. It's like 80, like this game is like 80% mindset, maybe 90% mindset, and like 10% skill.
Yeah.
Right. Because for skill, you could partner up, right, and get skills by partnering up. Correct. But what will stop you from even trying to partner up or to whatever is going to be yourself, like not believing that you can. Right. So yeah, that's great advice. So do you have like a tactical strategy? So how have you been able to have more confidence in yourself?
Ooh, affirmations, daily affirmations are huge. Putting myself out there is huge, right? You're never going to be comfortable until you get uncomfortable, right? So getting out there, putting myself into situations that I would not normally do, like I'm doing it like a network event by myself here the next couple of weeks. Like I'm just putting myself out there, right? So I think that is huge. And daily affirmations and just reading books that are really positive, podcasts, and surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded. I think that is also really important as well.
Awesome. The next question is, since you're into investor relationships and networking and events and all of that, what is like a successful networking strategy that you've come across that has helped you, build meaningful relationships that, that have or will end up in some sort of mutually beneficial deal. Like, what is a successful strategy that you know about that you've implemented yourself?
Yeah, so there's a couple of like things that I do every single network event, and it's been, I think, pretty successful. But the first thing is meet at least 3 to 5 people, go up to them, shake their hands, and learn about them. Someone that you do not know, right? If you go with like someone like a partner or whatever, divide and conquer. Go and meet people, because that's what you're there for, is to network. Some people go, they sit there, they listen to the listener, and then they leave. That's not what that's about. You need to go and meet people. So that's really huge. And I also have a digital business card, and I also have physical business cards. So you want to set yourself up with success by having both. And then the follow-up is the most important thing to me. If you go to this network event and you get 10 really good contacts and you don't follow up with any of them, you just wasted your time and their time, right? You're not setting yourself up for success that way. So I think that is absolutely crucial, is giving them a call, sending them an email, go have coffee with them, figure out how you can add value to their life. But yeah, the follow-up is absolutely the most important thing to me.
Awesome. And then dividing and conquering is like awesome. Like I actually just watched the TikTok the other day, and I haven't had the chance to implement that strategy. But basically, if you're going with a partner, right, like your partner goes into a group of people, right, and he talks, and he, he's like the more outgoing type. And then he talks really good about the other partner, right? And then he's like hypes him up. He's like, this guy is really good, like the deals that he has, the capital that he raises, whatever. And then he's like, oh, by the way, like he's over there. And then he calls you, right? He calls him, and then he comes, and then now everyone is interested in whatever he has to say, because like someone else has been talking really good about him. So it built a lot of social proof. And now he stays there, right? Talking to all the investors, real estate investors and everything, making relations, getting their contact information or whatever. And then the other one goes to another group and does the same thing. And then they rinse and repeat. And then that's how they are able to divide and conquer. That's like great.
Exactly. 100%.
So yeah, it sounds pretty fun. I'm going to implement it as soon as I can. And then you should too, right? Yeah. Let's see. The next question is, let me see what the next question is, because I forgot. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. There you go. Awesome. So what is, I think I already asked this. Oh, I didn't. No. What is an empowering belief that you have, that you think you should have to be successful in real estate investing, in the real estate investing game?
You said, what is the power?
Yeah, an empowering belief, like an empowering belief that you should definitely have to be able to be successful investing into commercial real estate.
Yeah, I think it's really crucial to have that determination, right? Like just never, ever giving up. A lot of times people go in, right, they sign up for the multifamily mindset or any other program, right, and then they get scared or they get overwhelmed and they leave. And I know that I was overwhelmed so many times. I get overwhelmed now, like I'm still overwhelmed all the time. But it's about the journey. And so I think that going in knowing that you are investing in yourself for you and your family and generational wealth, and it is imperative that you don't give up, and that no matter how hard things get or how sometimes you just don't believe in yourself, whatever, that you are enough, you are worth it. You every single person deserves the best that comes their way. So go in there, kick ass, and believe in yourself.
Great way to finish this off. So Ellie, if anyone wants to network with you or reach out to you for maybe they have some questions or they just liked you, right? Or they're an investor and they want to know about the deals that you got going on and they want to get involved some way, where would be the best place to get in contact with you?
So I have my email, and then I do have Facebook and I have Instagram, but Instagram is probably the best. But I think for people that don't have Instagram, would be my email.
All right. So what's your email?
Okay. So it's Ellie. So ELLIE at Lucid, LUCID -capital CAPITAL.com.
Cool. All right. And then where can we find you on Instagram?
So it's LEELLIE underscore Baxter, BAXTER, with an additional R, so 2 R's.
Awesome. There you go. Thanks. Well, Ellie, it's been great. It was a pleasure meeting you. It was a pleasure talking to you and getting to learn from you a little bit. And that's it. All right. Thank you very much for being here. And I'll see you later. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Modern Real Estate Investor Podcast. We want you to know that we love and appreciate you, and we're super grateful about being part of your journey of becoming a successful real estate entrepreneur and having it all. Please share this episode with a friend who you think will be impacted positively. Send it to someone who you know is interested in real estate and dreams of having it all and being the best they can be across all areas. And if you thought this episode was really valuable, share it on your social media as a post or a story. We have a special gift for all of those who contribute to the Modern Kings and Queens movement. So for those of you who decided to share this episode and help us spread our message, send me a message letting me know on any social media platform at Alex Ramirez, the Modern King. I have a special surprise for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.